I introduced Benjamin Förster-Waldenius from Raumlaborberlin, the architects who built the festival center in this year. They are partners of steirischer Herbst since a couple of years. We've been working with them very long. It's a huge collective, and Benjamin is representing their ideas, their strategies, and their tactics in this tactic talk.
Okay. Thanks, Kira. Maybe, I don't know, somehow there's so much noise here, right? Is that disturbing you as well? Maybe we should close the door and open the window to get some fresh air also in here. Everybody like that? Okay, let's get some fresh air. We're architects, we're no sound engineers. That's supposed to be Billy Idol. I bought 15 records yesterday for 15 euro in a shop to make this mobile jukebox run. And Andrea actually brought some tapes from at home that obviously nobody needs anymore for this machine that the day before the opening we dropped down the staircase, we put it back together, and it's still running. It's from the trash, we'll go back to the trash, just like this beautiful record player here. And the guitar that we found also on the trash from a guy who was actually dropping 4 guitars at the same time. And I picked this one because it has the Atomkraft 9 Danke sticker on it, and a self-made peace sign saying peace on the guitar. So I thought this is actually, this is like the small version of the steirischer Herbst festival center that we designed. But I'm not going to talk about that. Now I'm going to talk about another project that I'm not going to talk about. Wait a minute. That's the project that I will talk about. That is not here, that happened in 2007 in Rostock, but this comes later. First I talk about, wait a minute. I just dropped some photos here. Where are they? Bloody hell. Okay, I show you them like this, because my colleague Markus sent them to me. This is a project that also had an opening yesterday, just to show you what a multinational company we are. We are working on 3 stages at the moment at the same time, and everywhere we're building with trash. This is the material for a project called Vortex in Brussels that became, there was also scaffolding, and it became a structure like that. And yesterday, that's the opening yesterday of that structure. It's a little bit different because it's standing kind of scenic on a big square with like a Rem Koolhaas building in the neighborhood, and the Belgian Queen was there yesterday making photos with her mobile phone. It's actually just, it's a 3 days festival, so it's a little bit different than here. It will only be there for 3 days. So on Monday they're going to take it apart, and it's a statement of an artist organization in Brussels that is trying to fight for the rights of the artists. The building of Rem Koolhaas that's nearby is the dance theater. Some of you might know it, and it's supposed to be torn down for a new big whatever culture palace, and we think it's a scandal together with the people in Brussels. Now I come to the tactic talk. Who knows the difference between tactic and strategy? I didn't know either. I asked my old friend Peter Alt from Linz, and he told me that actually in the field that we are working in art, urbanism, and in the society, that it's actually just see the light. In our society, it's a little bit hard to work with strategies because you need to be able to make long-term Voraussagen, forecasts, right? And And that's, I mean, and arts is almost impossible in the current situation that we're talking about here all the time. It's almost impossible. In the political field in many countries, it's impossible to make real forecasts. So actually what we're all doing is working with tactics. And we enjoy that. We enjoy that, and that's why we like to work in fields like that, and that's why we're here. This is a different place where we worked, as I said, 5 years ago. This is the Kempinski Hotel in Heiligendamm, where the G8 summit happened. Well, it's an old photo, but it still looks more or less like that. It quickly goes through the images. That's from the Kempinski website, right? It's an old bath place, the hall. That's the hotel. Look at the limousines. And so it's actually, I mean, if you think like, where would we invite all the important presidents of the world to come and have a chat and some drinks and some champagne? It suits quite well. And I don't know if you remember, but what happened then was that they built a 13-kilometer long fence around this hotel to protect it from the demonstrators. On the other side of the fence, it looked like that, right? That's the camp of the demonstrators. Dixie toilets, the chemical toilets. How bad is that? At the entrance, can you imagine an entrance where you have to pass by 20, sometimes 40 of these toilets? And like that, the weather was not really good. And we thought, it's mean. It's mean. We think that the moral standpoint of these people is at least as important as the ones of the president. So why don't these people have 4-star hotels to live in, to demonstrate against what the others do? And well, then we had the luck to be, that's the kitchen where they had to eat and so on. And then we had the luck to be invited by Adrian Göhler to make the setting for an exhibition that was called, had the not very funny but meaningful name, Art Goes Heiligendamm. And she invited artists that were working in the political field and wanted to make, it's pretty much like here. I mean, people that worked with border situations, video artists and so on, radio artists, people that would make interventions during the demonstrations and then kind of mirror them into that exhibition. And she asked us if we could make maybe the setting for that also included a camp. Because, of course, all the hotels outside the Kempinski Hotel, where the presidents were already long booked by all the press and and the police, and everybody had to go there who normally didn't live in the city of Rostock. So, of course, for the artists, there was no place to stay. We said, that's good. We build a 4-star hotel for everybody who wants to come and see the exhibition, and for the artists that are working there. And as the Kempinski Hotel is called the White Pearl on the Baltic Sea, we decided to call it the Silver Pearl, and we chose the girl with the silver pearl earring as a symbol. That's why she is here. Our first idea was that because the budget was really small, and we're pretty well known for always working with small budgets, but here it was really so small that it was a little bit hard to really imagine a 4-star hotel as we wanted it. So we thought we'd take all the mobile buildings that we have designed in the past years, and we just collage them together to something new that kind of looks like maybe the thing. And then we had the lucky situation that Adrian Göhler actually found these 2 halls to make the exhibition. So that the right hall was supposed to be it's right on the river in Rostock, and the right hall was supposed to house the exhibition. This little house here was kind of the office. In this square there was later on the kitchen, and this was the kind of the big hall where performances would take place, screenings, discussions, and so on. And yeah, I have a drink. I'm the only one in this room who's allowed to bring in a bottle. And just since I'm talking, I tried 10 minutes ago and it was not possible to go with a glass bottle into the room. So what's a 4-star hotel? We need a golf course, right? We need a spa, a sauna, swimming pool, of course. We need nice rooms, all with a view on the water. We need well, in this case, we thought we also need a fence. We need a big security fence around it to protect it from the police. So that was our first design. We thought, like, okay, the big 2 halls, and then we really rebuilt the Kempinski Hotel with a little castle with a spa in it, and then the bigger house with the rooms, and the festival hall. We just built the facade, and we have a golf course with 9 holes, and then we have a fence around it, and then we use the fence as a tennis court, something like that. That was the first sketch, right? It's not what's going to come. That was, with that we persuaded Adrienne that it's a good idea to do that. And then we suddenly saw that the facade where we wanted to build the Kurhaus, the bath hall, what the thing, I'm going to show it later. It looked like that, completely dark. Wait a minute. Oh, it doesn't matter. Doesn't change. Okay. This is trees, what's dark here. I can see it better here. It's green, right? It's all green, and there's a house behind it. And so, and there was a problem with, in the trees, there were some birds that were like under preservation or something, like protection, and we couldn't move them out, so we had to leave some of the trees. And then we started building the facade of the hall, like that. It worked quite well. And then we started building the pool. And that's actually the side of the golf course. You can already see the first green here with a hole. The silver pearl, of course, here. It's bloody dark. Can we turn down the light maybe a little bit somehow? Somebody access to the... No? Because it's really dark. It's really dark. It looks... Maybe I turn about around my computer. Yeah. Well, getting a little bit better. That's awful. Okay. I see the face of this guy. You can't. Okay, so here that's the spa. There's a swimming pool up there. This material that we had from another project. We had some nice light. There's a swimming pool. It's just a garbage container filled with water. And this is now the entrance to the exhibition, actually. The original, I think it comes now. Yeah, that's the original cure hall. I don't know how to say it. It says, Haec te Laetitia invitat post balneasanum. That means here Laetitia, that's the goddess of... The goddess of joy invites you after a bath, healthy bath. And we changed that into hic officina spatii bacam agentam construit, which means basically here Raumlabor built the silver pearl. And that's the team. My God, it's dark. And here you can see the setting. I mean, how beautiful is that, right? Right at the river. Well, you can see the hall and some ugly architecture in the back. That's not from us. Every room had a view on the river. 2-story hotel. Yeah. And at night, looked like that. The rooms all had clean sheets from IKEA and mattresses and everything. And that's really a problem. If you want to build something like that and you don't have a lot of money and you want to be really politically correct, and we have the same here for the camp, almost. I don't know, there's other sheets now. But if you have little money, how do you realize beds that are PC? It's just almost impossible. You have to go to IKEA and get Indonesian bed sheets and I don't know, blankets that were produced in India and pillows that come from China. It's really a pity, but it's so cheap, you can't beat it. That's the view from my room. It's good, no? And that's the entrance side, so the 2 stories. That's the reception and the team. And that's the sauna. We had a mobile sauna there. It's a sauna project by some guys that live in Berlin. And they have this truck that you can barely see on this photo, but it's this here. And there's a sauna inside, and let's see. That's a golf course with the holes. That was designed. We have a friend who is actually building these alternative golf courses, and he built a 9-hole cross-country golf course for us. And that's the fence. It had to be a cheap fence, but it looks like a fence. I mean, you could see it better than on the photo, but and actually the fence worked. Look at that. I mean, the police that was all around the city, of course, to protect the city from the demonstrators, actually parked outside our fence, and wouldn't come in. That's the original situation. That's the real fence, right? The fence that was built just for a 3-day summit, 13 kilometers, and that's an interesting story, because how do you finance an exhibition in a situation like that where, the official state policy, of course, would never give money to a critical exhibition. So you can't get state funding, really, except if you find a trick. And as Adrienne Güller is not only a curator, but also a politician, she somehow managed to persuade whenever you make a public building, in Germany at least, and I know it's in France, it's the same, there's a certain percentage of the money that's going to be invested that has to go into art projects. Now, nobody thought that a building like that would, for that it would count, but it does. It does. It costs, I don't know how many million euro, I forgot, it's 4 years ago. But 1% of that building costs had to go into an art project, and that was ours. And yeah, that's the protection crew. That's the empty streets of the area that were completely fenced off. That's our team. We made a tour along the fence to visit the demonstrators, invite them to our hotel. That's the demonstrators who couldn't use the roads, so they had to go through the fields. And that's an interesting photo. There's a police car with a camera looking at the cows. Oh, but of course, they are waiting for demonstrators to cross the field. But blah blah blah, protection. And then this is the barricades of the demonstrators in front of the roads, and so on. Was a little bit dangerous, but worked. And it was not only us who were taking a bath, it was also the day after everything was over, the police people from the cars that we saw before behind our fence jumped into the water, not into ours, but into the river there. The whole team jumped into the water and then went home. That's our sauna director. Yeah, that was it. That was it. That was a story that I wanted to tell. Now, I was asked to keep some time open for discussion. And I think, for me, the question of tactic and strategy is maybe the most interesting here. I don't know. Maybe now we can turn on the light. Not only on my side. It's not only about me. We still have time, right? No? Okay. So, what shall we talk about?
debate. You already announced what you want to talk about, so then you ask people what they want to talk about. That's a bit,
Or maybe
so
they have something to ask or something to comment or. Can we turn on the light in the room there at the door? Alex? Great.
One question is, I think there were some parts of the camps, I wasn't there, but many of my friends were involved in organizing it, and which were really horrible and, as you described. But there were other parts which were built by the people in Germany who do the carpentry and who go, what are they called?
Yeah, I saw that. That was looked like an adventure playground.
Yeah. Which were quite beautiful, I think, in some ways. But the one question was, how many protesters actually came to stay in your 4-star hotel, or was it just artists? Or
we had, how many rooms were there? Is Andrea there? Do you remember the statistics? We had 20 rooms, 40 beds, something like that. Yeah. And that was it. I mean, they were changing the beds, so maybe there were 100 people staying there. But it's not compared to the complete number of demonstrators. I mean, I don't know, there were like 5,000 demonstrators or something that stayed in the camps, or even more. Yeah.
Questions?
So this question that you posed about the difference between tactics and strategies, and that I heard, I gathered at the beginning that you were feeling like it's impossible right now to create strategies because it requires long-term thinking. But I guess my question is twofold, like, how do we get to a point where we can create strategies, and what kind of strategies would you envision?
Yeah, it makes complete sense, but I have no idea, I have to admit. I mean, the situation is so complex and so confused that that at least in the field where we are working, I mean, there's probably always attempts to make things for architects. I mean, as an architect, you can work in a field that is kind of maybe more easy to have an overview, where it's more clear, but it's boring in the end. And where you can say, okay, we built this way there, but I think the time where like the big manifests of, I don't know, modernism, postmodernism, and so on, it's just over. We're just basically doomed to react on the situation. That's maybe a reason why we are not building new buildings, because we think that we have enough problems with old buildings, and there's enough old buildings, at least in Germany, that where we need ideas for, and that's why we're dealing with that more. And as every building is different, and as you can see here with my little jukebox, in a different city with a different garbage, it would look different. So I think that also the installation up there in the cafe area in a different city, in Switzerland, would look completely different because they have different furniture that they throw away at the moment. Also in East Germany, it would look completely different because they would throw away all this East German furniture, and it looks completely different. So that's why we enjoy to react on the spot to these things. But I think even if you try to work in a more secured field, it's really hard at the moment to make like long-term strategies. Even people like, okay, we had Rem Koolhaas before. I think everything that he tries to describe in his books and his exhibitions, and when he talks about what he does, is that things are going so fast that there's no, that when you work in China, there's no way to make a long-term strategy, because the time that you need to make the strategy, everything is different. So you just start. We have an exhibition in Shanghai that actually opens at the end of next week. That's a third construction site. It's also with old windows. but it's a different story. But it's the Shanghai Biennial, and they are, when I was there 2 months ago, the two exhibition spaces that they are, where they want to make the Shanghai Biennial, were looking like Rohbau, something that's far away from being finished. One of that was an old pavilion from the expo that they completely stripped down and built completely new, and looked like the Palace of the Republic after they took away all the asbestos, basically like a parking garage. And the other one is an old warehouse that is completely fucked up, and still they said, well, we're in China, we're going to make it. But there's no plans, We never got any plans how the exhibition spaces are going to look like when they're finished. They're just doing it. There's only tactics, no strategy.
So time for one more question, I think, if there is one. So then I have one. Maybe you can also explain just a little bit how you work together and with whom you're working, and you didn't tell anything
That's
about
right.
the team. That's why you are here, no?
I work with seven friends, partners, colleagues. One of them is back there, Andrea, lady with the glasses, waving her hand now. The other guy is Jan, who made this project together with Andrea and me. He had to leave yesterday. And we usually work in teams of 2 or 3 and do our projects. That's why we can do 3 projects at the same time, that are opening actually at the same time. And we build them all with our own hands. We work in Berlin. That's where our office is, but as the field that we're working in is not big enough to just be in Berlin and do our projects there, we have to go around and travel around places like this. We work a lot for festivals, theaters, culture, capital projects, and so on. But we try to work only for people and with people that we like, where we have the feeling that something good is going to come out of that, and something interesting, and something where we have, a morally good feeling with it, maybe.
Okay, thank you. Nice to hear this, and we like working with you, as you know. And thank you again for building up this beautiful infrastructure, the block house, the bar, and all these really nice done furniture made with love. I know it, and I think I can say it for all of us. Thank you very much. Thank you for this talk.